Hello, everybody, and welcome to MomoCon 2019. Is everybody having a good time here today? Perfect. All right, thank you for coming to the AniTubing panel. We are here. I'm here to introduce our two panelists. You guys, I'm pretty sure majority of you guys know them, but I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
You can go first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sydsnap, otherwise known as Sydney. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about hentai and manga a lot.
Yeah, she does.
Though, if you guys don't know about that, then you might know about me from Ava Bridged or Anime in Minutes, voicing Masato, Emilia, like a lot of people. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Gigguk. I have a YouTube channel when I talk about this thing called anime. Don't know if you guys know of that. And apart from that, I do some anime parodies, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I just talk a lot of shit, basically.
All right, so we're gonna go right into the question. All right, so before we go any further, at the last 20 minutes of our panel, we're gonna open up the mic for questions that will be located in the middle of the aisle. And at the last 5 minutes of our question, we're gonna have a lightning round. So we're gonna do rapid fire questions for our two panelists. That should be very entertaining for us. So without any further ado, we can begin. Gigguk and Sydsnap. So you guys have been doing this for, let's say, a good amount of time at this point, right? Have you guys ever gone back and reviewed any of the videos that you have done, like in the past? Just kind of a review how things have gone over the years and how things have changed.
You can start us off.
Yeah, I've only been really talking about the content that I've been talking about recently, but obviously throughout the years, I've done a lot and I've reviewed. Because you kind of have to like go back a bit and see what you've done wrong to kind of improve what you could do now. I don't know if I'm making sense. But that's, yeah, so I'd say yes, I have.
Yeah, so this year I would have been doing YouTube. Like a lot of people, I've grown a lot quite recently, but I've been doing anime YouTube for 12 years now. I was like the 5th ever AniTuber. I know the origins of AniTube, and every video I've ever done is still up on my channel, and I keep it up because my first videos were, let's be honest, pretty crap.
Jesus, Jimmy.
My first videos were pretty crap, but I keep it as like a reminder about like how far I've come since I started, and I go back and I'm just like, yeah, maybe I don't make such crap videos now. But yeah, I think to me, like my journey as a YouTuber, like I always remind myself of that as much as I can. So I do go back to review it.
Oh, well, cool. Well, I'm actually happy you have gone back and looked at some of your older videos. That kind of leads me into the next question of, is there any video that you've ever watched and it's just painful to like get all the way through watching it?
Basically any video that I made using Windows Movie Maker. Those were the good old days when you could just get away with like putting pictures to words and just like not have to worry about editing at all.
Oh, yeah. Those were the good days.
Yeah, basically when because I used to be branded as the Anime Zone, which is like the most generic branding I could think of at the time, and I regret ever calling my channel that. And yeah, there's a lot of regret on my channel.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
How about you?
I mean, obviously, like I think all of my videos, like they're kind of like, how do you go about like making videos and then just go back years from before and not cringe like watching them like now? I just feel like that's impossible. Like you can't make videos and then like think they're good years from now. I think that's just theoretically impossible.
Okay, makes sense. All right, so Jose, we've basically, I'm pretty much sure like majority of us that are in here grew up in the age where we were told gaming in movies and videos are not something that's a viable career path, and I'm pretty sure like majority of us had an original plan before that was actually a viable option for us to do. What was the original plan before getting into streaming and AniTubing?
For me, it was voice acting. Like, when I wanted to voice in anime and video games, such and the like. That's kind of how I began. What about you?
I mean, I just kind of did it because, like, my origin story was I started doing YouTube because I had to revise for, like, my maths exam, and I really didn't want to revise for it. so this was my way of procrastinating. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for long enough that I did it before it was really, like, a viable career path. Yeah. And it's only been, like, a viable career path, especially for, like, anime YouTube in, like, the past few years, basically. So it's a really recent thing. And I remember when I had the really tough conversation with my parents when I told them that I was quitting my job to pursue this YouTube thing where I talk about anime girls and stuff like that. My parents watch all my videos, by the way, and I hate that. That's a very awkward thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like even though it's a viable career path now, you should always get into YouTube as a passion, as a hobby, because if you don't have that passion, you're not going to be able to carry it through when it's your career. You know, that's a very important thing in my opinion.
All right. Well, I'm actually happy you actually gave that last bit about getting into YouTube, because it actually leads into the next question of, like, what are some mistakes that you actually see, like, more up and coming, newer people coming into, like, streaming service make? Like, what is the most common mistake that you see?
For me, I'd say it's kind of making repetitive content about topics that you can find anywhere and anybody's talked about a million times before. Kind of have to talk about newer things.
Basically, she's saying don't make bad content.
Essentially.
I guess the biggest mistake I see is kind of just what I said, where people come in expecting to, like, get, like, a following, like, quite quickly. Whereas I would say, like, even if you, like, make really good content, you need, like, at least a year. Like, when I say a year, I mean a full-on year of grinding away like this is your job before you'll viably see, like, any kind of success with it. And you look at someone like, even like the biggest YouTuber now, Mr. Beast. You know, everyone just knows of him as, like, the success story of last year. But he's been doing YouTube for close to 10 years now as well. Yeah. Like, he's done a lot of different things. But he was never successful for any of it. So I'd say the biggest mistake I see is people not being consistent with making videos and not following through with their passion, basically, and not sticking with it.
Okay. So what is one of the wildest realizations that you've come, like, so you go into an industry with a few expectations. Of course, everybody goes into the career path thinking about what they want to get from it. What are some things that you've actually realized that you learned while getting into the industry that you would have never thought of before actually getting into the industry?
That this many people watch my stuff and enjoy my stuff. Yeah. It's kind of crazy for me. I mean, I got into YouTube because I didn't have any friends to talk about anime with. So I talked in front of a computer to a bunch of faceless people, and, like, my biggest realization was just realizing how many people were in the same position as me, where they had this passion for anime and they just didn't know how to express it themselves. And I've met, like, so many cool people, and I get to meet, like, so many cool people like you guys, just talking to you guys about anime and stuff, and I couldn't be more thankful for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm essentially the same. It's kind of just like, holy shit. So many, like, maybe not so many, but people watch me. And I guess when you kind of, like, yeah, it's just, I guess it's like, maybe I'm not terrible at making content, maybe because people watch it. I don't know.
Okay.
Just stop talking.
All right, so that's I'm actually really happy that you guys actually found that. It's like a really good realization, right?
Yeah.
With all of these people that watching, of course, Gigguk, you did say that your parents do watch all of your videos.
Yeah.
What does your like just family think about what you do in terms of like just opinion of where you're going with this?
I
in your life?
mean, I think I can safely say my parents still don't really get what I do. My parents are very supportive now and they watch my stuff. I'm pretty sure they don't understand any of what I'm talking about. And if anything, watching my stuff confuses them more. What about you?
I mean, my parents just kind of talk about like they're like, stop talking about such weird shit. I'm like, I'm like, I can't, Ma. I love it. I mean, that's it for me, really.
Yes, sir. All right. So, how do you? All right. So, when it comes to any kind of career, when it comes to any kind of career in the creative industry, and the AniTubing is a creative industry, everybody does have a bit of like that nagging thought in the back of your head, the self-doubt. It's kind of saying that what you're doing is not good enough, or you're not good enough to do this, or you're letting people down. How do you personally get over that feeling, or like kind of fight through that to continue making videos for everybody?
I mean, for me, I guess it's just kind of seeing people enjoy my content. Like, it sounds so cliche to say, if one person enjoys something, then maybe it's worth doing, but I guess there's a lot of truth in that, though, for me.
I mean, I guess my answer to that question is I don't really get rid of that feeling. I live in like a constant state of like, it's either I'm ridiculously inspired or I have no idea what I'm going to do next. I kind of hate that. That's my creative process because I'm either working on 5 videos or I'm struggling to get any out. And I guess my drive is honestly I have no clue. Like sometimes I go on a walk, sometimes I travel a bit just to clear my mind, just to get the creative juices going again. I don't know what works best for me. Like I'm constantly trying to figure that out. So if anyone has any advice for that for me, I would actually appreciate that. But yeah, it's like because it's a creative industry. It all depends on like how you feel. So if you just wake up and it's like you just feel bad. Sometimes you get nothing done. Sometimes you get a lot done. But yeah, I'm not sure about that question myself.
I see. All right. So, so basically, you guys, majority of your content that can be found on YouTube. Like I'm pretty sure, like everything that you've made can be uploaded on there. Have you found any kind of problems with that platform when it comes to you trying to reach fans?
Yeah, I think you would know better than me, Garnd.
Okay, so where to begin? So like 2 weeks ago, out of nowhere, my entire channel just like that got demonetized by YouTube. Just like no warning, no reason. I just got an email and it said my entire channel was demonetized, which was, you know, it was a little bit stressful. But luckily, I managed to get it back remonetized pretty quickly because a lot of people were very, very vocal about it on Twitter and everything. But just in general, I could make I'm sure most YouTubers could make an entire panel about the things that YouTube could do better as a platform. But I feel, in general, like if I were just to condense my answer down, it's just YouTube is such a fickle platform. What works today might not work literally tomorrow. Like things can change at the drop of a hat. You are literally living to the whims of an algorithm and the whims of whatever YouTube decide is like okay or not. So it can be pretty scary, but at the same time, I kind of enjoy that challenge as well because I'm constantly having to like think ahead just in case something falls through. So I kind of like that challenge, but it is also like it is also very scary as well.
Now, have you run into any problems on? Run into any problems on the platform yourself, or is it?
I mean, besides the obvious, like you get demonetized for having certain things in the title, which is never nice. That's just a very common problem, really. Especially when you talk about like MILFs and titties all the time. So, I mean, look, I can't say though it's not undeserving on my part.
All right. Well, is there any? All right. So, if you were to actually be able to be in charge of basically building a platform that would work better for you, what would you desire to be on there? If it wasn't YouTube, of course.
Okay, can you say the question again?
Oh, I apologize. What would if you were able to build a better platform, what would you have on there that YouTube does not have on there?
I mean, I guess like the biggest thing I would like from YouTube, like the big thing is better communication.
Yeah.
Because you know, I'm fine with some of my videos being demonetized or this happening or that happening to that channel. If YouTube at least like tells me what happened, because kind of like it's you're kind of just always rolling the dice with YouTube, so you never really know what they want. Everyone's kind of playing a guessing game. Nobody knows what they're doing. If they say they know what they're doing, they're fucking lying, because I guarantee nobody knows what they're doing, and people who succeed basically got lucky once to figure out that this is what works.
Yeah.
So I guess for me it would be that better communication from the platform to the creator, because I feel like that there is a massive gap between that right now.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I just want to ask, is it okay if we swear?
Hell
yeah.
Shit, is it not?
Because I heard him say fuck, and I'm just like, ooh.
I don't think anybody's complained yet, so it's green light. I haven't gotten the text. There's no police. You're solid.
All right, but to
It's
answer.
too fucking late now. You know?
Oh, but I would definitely. My answer would be essentially everything he just said.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for a little bit of insight on when it comes to industry. Let's see if we can't get a little bit further into the thing that you guys talk about more, manga and anime and everything. All right. So, what is more recent anime that's come out that you've seen yourself that you feel is being done a disservice by not being seen by more of the community?
Does it have to be a new one, or can it just be like
It
an
can be
older one?
Just one.
You can go first.
Ah, shit. I'm gonna butcher the name because I honestly can't. What? It's now and then, here and there.
That was yeah.
Yeah, now and then, here and there. I mean,
the good isekai.
the only. Okay, well, I wouldn't say it's only, but it's like. It's so sad. I'm guessing, like, have any of you guys, like, heard of this anime before? So few of you. That's so sad.
Let them know about it. What
It's
is
like,
it?
okay, honestly, I wouldn't recommend it if you don't. It's like kind of like a Berserk, but with kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go on.
It's kind of dark. So, I mean, if you're kind of sensitive to that shit, don't watch it.
It's Berserk with kids or Berserk for kids?
Both. It's both. But
Berserk
if you're
light.
into like dark stuff, as I tend to be a connoisseur of, then watch that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I can think of a recent example, because anytime I do think something is underappreciated, I normally make a video on it. Like most recently, I didn't think enough people were watching Domestic Girlfriend. And then now I've met a lot of people who have watched / read Domestic Girlfriend and have been converted. Let's say. I would say one example that still comes to mind, though, is from 2 years ago, which is Recreators. God damn, I love Recreators so goddamn much. And hardly anyone watched it because it was way too fucking meta.
So let us know about it. Like, what is it? I've never heard of Recreators personally, so I would like to.
Okay, so do you know what isekai is?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Thanks to you, actually.
So like it's almost like a reverse isekai. So like you have these characters from different like anime, manga, and gaming characters, like stereotypical characters being summoned from their world into our world, right? So you have a lot of these different elements just clashing in the real world. So for example, the scene that sold me was you had this fantasy knight, and she was fighting a magical girl, right, in the real world.
Yeah.
And so they were having the fight, and then because of the world the magical girl is in, you know, the typical Sailor Moon kind of world, they just completely wreck the city, right? And then the magical girl looks around, and she's like, what the hell is this? And she's like, because the concept of collateral damage just doesn't exist in her world, right? So she's just looking around at all this destruction that she's just done upon the city, and she's like, what is going on? And it's like, yeah. And it's taking all these anime cliches and like smashing them together. It's ridiculously meta. I fucking love it. That's been my underrated anime for like the past 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got we got 2 new animes to watch. Everybody, remember you heard it here first. All right. So, simple question that might actually cause a riot, but I'm sorry if it does. Best boy or best girl? Cite your sources, please.
Okay, definitely 110 million plethora million year light blah is 100%. I'm blanking on the name real quick. I'm nervous.
It's okay.
Okay, Bakano, Rail Tracer. Claire Steinfeld.
Wow, such a husbander. I don't even remember his name.
It's 1,000,000% Claire Steinfeld. It's just that serial killer rampage and just how suave he is. I don't know, something about it just gets me. Just gets me places.
Should I leave right now?
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
For me, it's pretty simple. If anyone knows me, anyone knows it's Senju Gahara from Bakemonogatari, the Monogatari series. That's. Get the fuck out, Jimmy! Get the fuck out!
Security, please. We got him.
Get. No one wants Hanakawa. No one wants Hanakawa. She ain't even second best. What have you started, man? This is.
I warned you. There was a warning.
Yeah.
Caution.
Okay.
All right. So trying to calm down the crowd a little bit. I apologize for anybody that we've hurt in here.
I'm not sorry.
So, what is an anime that you've actually come across that has completely surprised you by how good it was?
Bokurano.
Jeez, you guys love that anime, don't you?
Yeah. It's like or Bakano and Bokurano. They're 2 separate episodes.
No, what was it? All right. So going into it originally, what was it like? What was the original mindset that like you were going into, and why did it surprise you? Like what?
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess Bokurano is another anime that maybe some of you know. I guess it's just my niche tastes. They're a little too good for this room, but. But Bokurano is
Let me get you another pedestal.
Bokurano is another anime. It's like an anime from 2003 that's kind of like, it's an older one, but it initially comes off as like a mecha anime, which is, yuck, disgusting. But it wasn't somehow.
Do you want me to give you a list about everyone who you haven't insulted yet?
But it kind of, in actuality, explores the life of kind of coming to realize you're going to die. And I love dark shit. Again, I love dark shit.
Both shows you've recommended involve a lot of children dying in ways that aren't pleasant. I just realized.
Oh shit! Oh whoa! Oh no! What? Oh fuck! Wait, no, I can't.
It's okay. It's all right.
That's great.
It's great, guys. It has children dying.
Oh yeah, that's the best part. All right, Garn should probably start talking now.
All right. I guess for me, everyone knows that. No, I'm just going to talk about Domestic Girlfriend a bit more.
Oh my god.
Because I'll talk about it because that was the anime. At least that was the title. I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I did.
You shouldn't enjoy it. It's trash.
It's good trash. That's the entire point.
Is there such thing as good trash?
So like the reason like how the Spice meme started was because every time I'd watch an episode, right, there'd just be things happening in it, and I would just have to go, woo! That was the exact sound.
That's the
I was
literal
making.
sound he makes.
She was like,
All the time. All the
was like-
time he watched it.
she was like, what the fuck is going on in that room? I'm just like, this is some spicy
Can you
shit,
imagine
man.
just constantly hearing woo, woo, and every like 5 seconds? Jesus Christ!
So like, I read the manga thinking that it was just going to be the same spicy stuff, and then I didn't expect how invested I was going to get in the
Cocaine
entire
girl?
story.
Cocaine girl.
Hey, spoilers, man. But yeah, I was actually really surprised about how well developed the characters are, because it was really weird because it was seeing all this trashy stuff happen to characters that I emotionally cared about. So it was like kind of like a whiplash feeling, but it was like the first time I had experienced it where I knew a lot of the things that were happening were trash, but like I just couldn't stop reading, and then it just became like my newest obsession. She knows I wouldn't stop talking about it for
it was
an entire
concerning
week.
for a while. I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, if anyone hasn't seen Domestic Girlfriend yet, go
Don't watch it.
do it, do it. You need that spice in your life.
You're okay without it.
All right, so what was it? In recent years, anime has actually become a lot more popular. As you can see, this convention's been blowing up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So it's not as, what was it? So the anime community isn't as much of a niche community as it used to be. Have you found any kind of negatives to this popularity that's arisen?
I'd say definitely fandoms are a big part of it.
Too many normies.
My favorite anime is Dragon Ball. Shonen is the best genre to come from the series.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
All shonen is the same shonen. I just here to piss you off. What do you want from me?
You're doing an
I'm
amazing
doing a good
job.
job.
All right, so that's mecha fans, shonen fans.
All publicity is good publicity.
People who love children.
I guess the biggest thing I've kind of missed is like I'm really glad anime has become more popular than it was when I was growing up. But something I do miss is like I feel like it's lost a bit of its identity, because anime used to be like this much smaller cult, and as it's kind of like grown into this like much more mainstream fandom, like anime fans aren't as like what's the word I'm looking for? Insular.
I don't think that's a word, Jimmy.
No, it is.
Give me a dictionary, Jimmy.
But it's much homogenous. Thank you very much, sir. That was what I was looking
Yeah.
for.
The front row is
it's-
amazing today.
Yeah, it's much less homogenous. Like, you can meet like two anime fans that are into like completely different things and have nothing in common. And I kind of miss a little bit of like that close-knit family like cult feeling that anime used to have. But I mean, that's kind of like the only big negative I can think of.
Gotcha.
In terms of like, because I do enjoy the fact that I can talk to a lot more people about anime
Yeah.
today.
And of course, more viewers as well.
Well, yeah. That's a nice bonus.
All right, so stemming from that, outside of the community, what is actually some of the what's some negative anime kind of tropes and things that you've actually seen become more popularized over the years, like stuff that you've overseen, you wanted to stop, wish was other tropes and things that you wish was more popular these days.
Is this just in anime?
Yeah, just all entertainment.
All entertainment.
Yeah. It's definitely kind of odd when I introduce like my big brothers to people and they're like, "Hey, have you watched Oremo?" And I'm just standing there. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm so uncomfortable.
I remember when you took your brother to AX during the Eromanga Sensei boom.
Yeah.
That
He
was-
kept asking me, "What's Eromanga Sensei?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, Russell."
For me, I mean, I guess I have a love-hate relationship with isekai right now because it's like, it's so oversaturated. It's oversaturated. It's ridiculously oversaturated. And yeah, I still keep watching it, and I don't know why. Like, I would like there to be more mecha again. I feel like mecha, like what was like the last good original mecha show? And nobody say Darling in the Franxx. God damn it. I suppose Planet Earth, yeah. I don't know, I miss 2D drawn mecha. I miss 2D drawn mecha. Yeah, but I'm talking about recently, Jimmy. Yeah.
Jimmy.
So many Gundams you can watch. Gundam NT just came out. And I'm a dolphin. I'm Build Fighters. Come on, God.
Build Fighters it's just Gundam Pokemon, Jimmy. So yeah, I mean that would be it for me.
All right, cool. All right, so crowd participation is another question that could get you potentially in trouble. So every season there's a new flavor of the month, waifu husbando. What is it this month? Anybody just yell it out? Who is the husbando or waifu of this year? Yeah. What they said.
You're all basic bitches.
A little bit, you're all basic bitches.
You heard it here first, folks. You are all basic bitches. I am so sorry.
I'm not.
Come on, you know it's all about Chica, man.
You're not gonna do better than Chica. Let's just admit it. This season, nobody compared
Yeah,
to
actually,
Chica.
like I'm trying to like, who is the seasonal wife
Like,
of this
I'm
season?
not- I don't really-
I don't think there is.
No, like,
isn't? No?
like even I could say, oh Tuesday. I guess Tuesday. It could be Tuesday, but that's just like her
So
singing voice.
the closest thing this season would probably be Senko-san.
Oh yeah, I guess.
It'd be Senko-san.
I guess, yeah.
Or Fubuki from One Punch Man. Yeah. But like, there hasn't been like a strong showing this season. Last season, that was like a good pick.
There's like, but compared to Chica, not even close.
All right.
Not even close.
All right, so you have to choose one. That's it. You can't choose any more ever again. One. Why?
One what?
One waifu or one husbando. You can't choose any more ever again.
Like new or like ever?
Any ever.
Oh, definitely Claire Stein.
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess if it's one waifu husbando, mine would be Senjigahara, easy.
Same answers.
But I kind of like the seasonal waifu grind as well because like you get so much different variety with
Like a hump and dump, really. It is. It's kind of like it.
What did you just say?
I've never said it before. It felt like vile coming out of my mouth, but it makes sense.
I didn't say that.
Well, I said it. I'm not afraid to say it. Hump and dump.
I don't want to tear apart the happy couple. Please, guys, don't fight. Not on the stage.
We're done so.
You don't lewd your waifus. You protect them, Sydney. Jesus Christ. I thought we were cultured here.
Who told you that?
It's anime. Come on, man.
How can you be cultured when you like anime?
That's true.
That's true. She's got you, man.
I got you there.
She's got you. All right. So, in recent, what would you say is the greatest achievement of anime in the recent years?
Oh, shit.
I was about to say that ironically, whoever said that.
I honestly think it's kind of amazing how it expanded so quickly. Holy shit, I really went to a British accent there. It's just like, I don't even know how anime just got so big. I'm blanked on the question. I am a little...
Want me to go?
Yeah, go.
So my favorite thing about anime recently has been probably being able to watch anime in theaters. That's been my favorite thing. Like, I love Your Name, but I'm also really fucking glad about what Your Name did for the industry. Because I remember when we'd have like anime movies coming out before, and we would have to wait an entire year when the DVD was released to be able to get a chance to watch it. Like, I'm so glad I was able to watch Your Name, like My Hero Academia, the Dragon Ball Z movie, like all in theaters as they come out. And that's an experience I didn't have 10 years ago, and I think it's absolutely awesome now.
Yeah, I guess to like put things, like I was kind of rambling before, but I guess it's like part of it. It's like anime has gotten to the point where you can watch it in theaters, and maybe if you go to a video store, if those exist anymore, there's anime sections, or maybe if you go to some shitty, what's the video game stores here again? I haven't been in America. GameStop. There's gonna be like some anime things in the little bin bag that's like only $10. It's like, that's amazing in a way. It's like, can you imagine 10 years ago anime would be to this point? And that's my answer.
And she's sticking to it.
Is that the motherfucking tea?
I actually feel like kind of bad about these next set of questions because you guys have been arguing so much.
Well, it's just beginning, my guy.
Oh, this is amazing. Then let's spice it up. All right, so I've seen you guys have already released a video about this, but just for anybody in here that has not seen the video, how did you two meet? Like,
Okay. How many of you guys, well, let's talk about online first because we initially met online. How many of you guys have watched Ava Bridged? Yeah. That's where we met, motherfuckers! I voiced Misato in Ava Bridged, but I guess we could talk about how that began. It began with a certain email. Garnt, you take it from here?
Oh my god. So I was like back then I only did anime reviews and I thought I'd dabble in like abridging, which if anyone doesn't remember what abridging is, because it's kind of dead right now, it's kind of like anime parody work. So I kind of dabbled in that, had no idea what I was doing. So I was looking for voice actors and voice actresses, and I saw some of her work and some other stuff. Didn't know what the best way to contact her was, so I'm sure she was used to just people asking, hey, do you want to voice in my parody series? I wrote up a whole fucking...
It was like an essay.
I wrote like a cover letter, right? I wrote like a professional cover letter you write to businesses, being like, good morning, Sydsnap. Would you like to partake in this parody series that I am currently writing and directing? And here are my references.
Yeah.
Here's my previous works.
If you need to talk to anybody about my previous, literally.
Yeah. And she almost said no.
I deleted the email because I'm just like, I am so popular. I don't need this. No, that's not my. I'm just like, but I was being. Either way, then I kind of just refreshed it because I'm like, Evangelion. I voiced in those before. Maybe I can voice Asuka because she's tsundere, and I like that. So, but it wasn't Asuka, but
it was Misato.
It was Misato. But I checked out his channel and I liked his work, so I'm like, why not?
So yeah, that's kind of how we met.
all right.
Yeah.
Finish Neighbor Bridge.
That's not a question.
That is not a question. I'm sorry.
Ask him when he's finished Neighbor Bridge.
Oh, also, so it is also it's getting close to time for fan questions. So if you have anything to say about Ava Bridge, you can start lining up in the middle of the aisle, right in front of my assistant. Okay, so everybody has initial, like I said, it doesn't matter who, if you're with a person for a very long time or it's a short period of time, everybody has an initial thought of their significant other when they first start going out. What was the very first thing you guys actually thought about each other upon like meeting?
I thought Garnt was just like the coolest guy to walk this earth, I swear to God. But now, I mean, would you think that about somebody who thinks Domestic Girlfriend's a masterpiece? I don't know.
You lost
Well,
points.
Sydney, yeah. What can I say? I will replicate that answer to you as well. Yeah. I love her though.
I love you.
All right, now back to hating each other.
Okay, there we go.
Don't look at me.
All right, so we're gonna have 2 more questions, then we're gonna open it up to the crowd. All right, so Sydsnap,
Yes.
you have been doing voice acting for what, 10 years?
10
now?
years, yeah.
10 years, and I'm pretty sure there's a good number of people here that would love to get into voice acting.
Okay.
It's okay, it's all right. If you can give them one piece of advice, like something that to help them
Okay.
as they're going forward, what would you tell them?
Well, I'm by no means a professional unless you think getting paid to voice in an online game is a professional, which I guess it's something to put on a resume. In reality, when you start voice acting, it's not going to be easy to land every role you want. In fact, it might be just downright impossible because just like in everything, when you start something, you're not going to be perfect at it right away. it takes a lot of practice, and that's such a cliche answer, and I'm sure you probably have heard it all before, but really just practice your asses off, and I swear to God, you'll be fucking badass.
All right.
That's my that's my answer.
Yeah.
Gigguk.
Yeah.
So on your Patreon, you have to donate $100 in order for you to get any kind of consultation from you.
Yes.
We're at an anime convention. We're going to spend all of our money, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us are going to go home to lights off.
Sure.
We don't have $100 to give you, but if you can give one free consultation, just anything off the top of your head,
Okay.
what would you give it? Or what would you give?
In terms of advice?
Just advice.
Just advice. Okay, I can give the cliche advice, which is the most true, and then I'll say something else as well. So the cliche advice is, nobody talks about how much work you have to fucking grind through. It is, and I say it's a grind because it is. And if you can't get over that hump, then no matter how talented you are, you're not going to succeed on this platform, on YouTube. You know what I mean? Because YouTube is about that grind. In terms of the second thing, don't expect that you're going to be successful right away. Try and find a niche. Try and find a niche that you can kind of like flourish in. Like, I've actually been helping her a lot in the past year, and I told her that she needed a year of grinding before she can make this a proper job, and this was the first year that she is able to make this a proper job. And like, follow what she's done, because the AniTube was like really saturated already when she started doing it. And I asked her what she was passionate about, and she said manga. And then we saw that there weren't many manga YouTubers, and we tried to figure out why there weren't any manga YouTubers. And what the big gap was not that there weren't people passionate about manga, was people were passionate about manga and people wanted to see manga videos, but people didn't know how to market it, how to properly do the thumbnails or properly sell the shows. And I feel like that's why she's gained a lot of momentum quite recently compared to a lot of other people.
That's good.
So try and find your niche that no one else is doing. Try and find, like, you don't need to be totally unique, just make it something that stands out from what everyone else is doing, even if it's just something slightly different. And that's a very good starting point.
Well, thank you very much, Gigguk. We're going to open up the floor to questions.
All right.
All right.
First off, congratulations on the engagement.
Thank you very much.
So in that same vein, when I think of like anime power couples, you and then you guys, Jeff and Tenlight, do you guys think you're gonna do more collaborative content, or at any point focus, since now that Sydsnap's more in her own light a YouTuber and having a wider channel base, to do couples content or more stuff for people that are in relationships as anime professionals?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Or collaborative with like Jeff and
Yeah.
Tenlight?
I definitely think there will be more collabs, because I'm mainly manga based, but I know with his channel it's mainly anime based, and he doesn't show his face that much, so I would be the only kind of. But definitely, like, my most recent upload that I'll be uploading will be another collab. So here and there. Bye, Jimmy.
You turned the lights on, man.
Damn it, Jimmy. But yeah, that's for sure. There'll be more collaborative.
Yeah, I mean, we're fine to collab if it feels natural, because I don't feel the need to collab if it's just like kind of forced in, because at the end of the day, I think we just want to both make good content, and if it makes the content better, like her next upload is going to be about isekai, so of course me being isekai trash is very much involved in it, but that's because it just felt natural for me to be involved, rather than being like, hey, do you want to make a collab kind of thing. So yeah. Thank you very much for the question, by the way.
Yeah. What anime is most deserving of a second season, in your opinion?
Baccano.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would have to say, I know, there's a lot. Like, there's a lot. I would love a Baccano season 2. I would love a good Berserk remake that finally does it justice.
A good one.
I would love a Spice Wolf season 3. I would say I wanted a ReZero season 2, but we're getting that now.
Yay!
That's pretty awesome. I mean, I think it's pretty awesome that we're getting sequels to anime that we never asked for. Because like last year we got like Fooly Cooly season 2 and 3. Those were oof. We got a Fruits Basket remake this year. So it's funny because like we're probably more likely to get a season 2 or 3 in today's climate than like 5-10 years ago when the anime first came out. So yeah. So I think I answered your question. I kind of just rambled on for a bit. So yeah, thank you very much.
Hello. So a lot of discussions I see talking about like getting started on YouTube and everything, no one's really talked about the integration of social media, and I was wondering how you two use social media in your careers.
In terms of like Twitter and Instagram and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
Okay, like how important it is?
How important or like just how much you often use it?
Okay, I definitely use Twitter like every day. I'm addicted to it. I feel like it's very important to spread your content on social media, so a variety of audiences will find you and be like, hey, that's not bad.
I mean, I feel like that's sorry. A social media presence is important in this day and age if it comes to influencer. I don't think it's 100% necessary because I would say I'm not on social media that often. Like compared to like a lot of other people, I tweet maybe once every like 2 days sometimes. So that's pretty low compared to a lot of other people. From what I've found, it doesn't always, like, there's so many different avenues you can take, basically. I make content that does really well on YouTube as a platform, doesn't really do that well on, like, Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. So every social media has a different tactic or a different way to approach it. And they're not always mutually, what works for one platform doesn't always work for the other platform. I would say in terms of social media, don't burn yourself out. It is important, but if you are succeeding on one platform, obviously focus on that platform, because I found my success mostly through YouTube. And I have a Twitter and an Instagram, but that's definitely not as prevalent as my YouTube, because that's where most of my presence is felt on YouTube. So I would say if you enjoy doing the social media, do the social media. I don't put as much time into Twitter and Instagram because I feel that takes too much mental strain sometimes, because social media can be really stressful. And I feel in a creative industry, what's most important is having a healthy mindset. So as long as social media doesn't affect you negatively. Okay, thank you.
All right, so you guys have a lot of content on your channels. Which would you say is the favorite of your parents?
Favorite video?
Of your parents?
Of my parodies?
No. Of your parents.
Of my parents.
I can tell you it's not the MILF Isekai. Yeah. Oh my God, I don't know. I really don't want any of them to see my but they have, and they do. So probably my Q&As, because that's the one where I don't talk about coochies.
For me, it's pretty simple. My parents just like the ones where I do live action skits, not because they find it funny, just because they get to see my face. They're pretty simple like that. They're like, "Oh, I saw your face in a video, and I really liked it." I'm like, "Thanks, Mom." That was good feedback.
So Garan, you recently released a video, The Death of Classic Anime, and I understand that, and I understand some points, but I know a lot of people didn't really agree with that. But a couple of questions regarding that. The first is, do you think it's our fault or the anime industry's fault that we don't really have this sense of going back, 2-3 years? I mean, 2-3 years, we are hyping about an anime during a season, and then all of a sudden it's gone and nobody ever remembers it. So do you think it's our fault, or do you think it's just what happens?
I mean, I feel like it's just because anime has become more mainstream. It's much more similar to other entertainment mediums. We don't feel the need to go back. There's two main factors. One is because we have so many things we could be watching now. It's like there's so much choice. It's ridiculous. So there's never a point when you take a break to be like, I should probably explore something, you know what I mean? And the second thing is availability, whereas like if it's not available on Crunchyroll or Netflix, or even if it is and you just don't know about it, you're not going to watch it because you don't even know it exists on there. Because it used to be back in the day, we were much more willing to go out of our way to find an anime, and now because there's so much choice, if it's less than 3 clicks away, we're not going to do it because there's other things that we would be watching. It's like that Netflix problem where, you know, when you're trying to find a show on Netflix and you just scroll down and then you're just like, I have no idea what I want to watch now. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that problem where we're just overwhelmed with choice, so we don't really feel the need to go and look back and find some stuff.
Last thing, what would you say your modern classic would be? One that will stand the test of time.
The closest thing I would say coming to a modern classic would be Your Name. That would be like apart from My Hero Academia, which I feel is definitely going to be a classic that defines this generation just because of how massive it is. Your Name would be the closest other one where it's like it's this film that everyone loved, revolutionized the international film industry for anime. So I feel like that would be the closest thing to a modern classic.
Great, thanks guys.
I apologize. You will be able to ask your question. For everybody else that comes after him, you only do get one question. I apologize. I did not say that at the very beginning. So.
That's fine.
I just want to say thank you for coming to MomoCon.
Thank you for having us.
Specifically for Gar, I've been watching you for, I just counted in my head, like 7 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long time. But my question is, how do you guys deal with criticism?
We don't.
We bitch to each other about it.
No. Okay. So like, how do you deal with criticism? So I think it's pretty fucked up, honestly, because here's the thing, right? There's always like, I always love constructive criticism. I'm always open to that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of criticism on the internet that is not constructive criticism, and a lot of people will say, you know, you get used to it or just ignore it, and yeah, that's kind of like the best advice you can give to anyone, which is you just ignore it and you get used to it, which, if you think about it, it's pretty fucked up. The fact that there is no solution to really deal with it, you just kind of get numb to it, right? So as, like, if you put yourself out online, there is no good way to really have a healthy mindset apart from just going in and knowing that the internet is like a very scary place at times, and if you mentally prepare yourself for that, then then you'll be better when you see some of the criticism you get. But yeah, like I said, I'm kind of numb to it now, and if it's I listen to constructive criticism, but you have to be choosy about what criticism you listen to and what you know is kind of just bullshit, basically.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, that's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi there. Gigguk, thanks for all your videos, especially the one on the Fate series. My friend will never touch it with a 10-foot pole. Sydsnap. Does Gigguk usually kink shame you for watching children die?
I feel like you're attacking me right now. Always. Yeah, but to be fair, you think Arrow Manga Sensei is also a masterpiece, so I kind of bring that back, and he's like, she's got me there.
Emoto trash.
I don't know, man. I mean, I wasn't the one who played Euphoria.
You act like I enjoyed it. I was traumatized. My life's over.
Okay, so first, I know you like JoJo, so I bought this figure for you.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
Yes, I'll give this to you after the panel. And also, how did you feel about Digibro just going batshit crazy on JoJo when it won Best Character Design on the Anime Awards?
Well, okay, question G, what do you think of Digibro? I'm actually curious what the audience thinks of Digibro.
I think this kind of, I don't know if I'll get beat up for this, but like, I think a lot of his opinions are, reliable, and like he's right about some stuff, but just as many as them are kind of retarded.
Yeah.
Like that video in general, that was my favorite one of him, just because of how much he was reading around.
I mean, my opinion of Digibro is, I actually find him incredibly entertaining. We had like a bit of like drama like a year or two ago, but that wasn't really drama. I just didn't really find his content interesting. But when he went off the deep end, like when he just stopped doing like analytical stuff and just went full Digibro, that's incredibly entertaining, man. I mean, you're just watching someone melt down on YouTube, and it's like, it's absolutely great, because I love it, because you could, if you go through his history, you can tell the exact point when he discovered weed, and then it was just never the same again. And like, it was that exact point when I just started enjoying his content, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that JoJo video was hilarious. He got a lot of backlash for it, because I feel a lot of people still take him seriously, and I feel like Digibro is only entertaining if you just stop taking him seriously, and you just see him as just as what he is, which is a very loud, opinionated guy.
Also, Komi-san sucks.
Oh no! Wait, go
He
ahead.
said Komi-san sucks.
You suck!
Heckle him. Okay. All right. So we are getting
That's
into the last
illegal.
5 minutes of the panel. This is where we're gonna enter the lightning round, where you can ask your questions. Okay, as you can see, we do have long lines, but it's going to be it's going to be as quick as we can get them.
Okay.
Okay, so while there are streaming services and a lot of licensed stuff, there's plenty of anime still floating out there in copyright limbo, where like you can't like get them legally. So my question to you two would be, what is one anime that you would want to put on a streaming service or whatever that isn't on one like currently?
Now and then, here and there.
Off the top of my head, Gankutsuo. I don't think that's licensed.
Yeah, I don't think it's licensed.
You guys are really good at this game.
So I know you have a background in engineering, and I was just wondering how you came to writing creative essays on anime as a outlet, and whether or not you've always sought out creative pieces.
No, I definitely haven't always been creative. It's funny, I did a master's in electronic engineering to figure out that I didn't want to do electronic engineering. So I mean, yeah, it kind of was just a break from engineering, I would say. So it was just a hobby that basically grew into something. So yeah, that's basically what I can say about it. So.
So my question is on your process for your creative comedies, from everything from relating space with Trigger and eating that ghost pepper. How does this stuff just come into your mind, especially the excessive sarcasm in most of your videos?
Oh, the excess of sarcasm is British. That's the only thing special. Just go to England and you're like I would say like my quirk is being able to sound slightly sarcastic with anything I say. But in terms of like the comedy, I don't know. It just. I try not to force it as much as possible, because like I said, with the domestic girlfriend thing, it just came naturally because that was just how I was reacting to what was happening on screen. And with Trigger, that was how I was reacting to when they were going to fucking space and all that shit. So it was like, I try to make content that inspires me organically, I would say is the best thing.
All right, thank you.
Okay, from the top of your heads, what are your favorite classics? I'm wearing one of them on my shirt right now.
Zankyo no Terror.
Terror?
Is that a classic?
It can be. I think it will be.
I would say Cowboy Bebop as well, man. That's a classic. That's like a classic from our generation, man. We're never forgetting that. Rip the live action series though.
Since you guys are coming from the United Kingdom, I was wondering if it's okay if I could treat you to the great American pastime of Chick-fil-A.
I actually had my first taste of Chick-fil-A yesterday, actually, and it's pretty damn fucking good, man.
I had bought you something, Gigguk.
Oh, thank you very much.
It was like my favorite anime in minutes, so I got you a Toka pin. I didn't want to buy anything too
Oh,
big or
thank
too
you very
small.
much.
And what was your favorite anime in minutes that you made?
Ooh, probably ReZero.
My favorite too.
Oh, that's great. Thank
That's
you
my
very much.
favorite.
But I like them all. Like people ask me why I don't make more anime in minutes, and it's simply because I don't make it unless I'm incredibly inspired to make it. So I like all the anime in minutes I've done. But that one is particularly like my favorite, I think.
Okay, thank you.
So hey guys, got to be super quick about this, but as a voice actor myself, what voice equipment do you guys use to record your videos?
To be fair, a PEX, isn't it? The microphone?
The microphone. It depends on what country we're in.
Yeah, we have a lot.
I can't remember.
I think it's like an PEX.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you with that question because I actually can't. I'm actually
Yeah.
blanking on it.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head right now.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
No, it's totally cool. Thanks again, guys.
No worries.
Go back.
All right, so this will be the last question as we enter the last phases of our panel. So.
Okay.
Hi, so you used to make AMVs, right? Like 6 or 7 years ago. And I see you make like mini AMVs in your videos where you talk about music. Have you ever wanted to make another one, but you didn't have time to?
I mean, the reason I don't make AMVs now is not because I stopped enjoying it. It's because if I upload an AMV, I guarantee to piss YouTube off because that's kind of the reason AMVs have kind of like declined on YouTube in general, and it's just because it just gets copyright claimed and no one sees it anyway. I try to bring as much of the AMV flair as I can into like my videos where you see like mini like 5-second really heavily edited. That's like as much as I can get away with, but like I'm trying to keep that torch alive as much as possible. Like I even made a video on it because I do miss AMVs a lot. I mean, do you guys miss AMVs? Because I miss good AMVs, man.
Right.
I know.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
All right. Well, guys, that is all we have for this panel. Give it up one more time for Gigguk and Sydsnap.
You guys have been awesome, by the way. Thank you very much for having us.
Enjoy the rest of the con, everybody.